sex with my grandpa, you dirty anchor baby.
Our narrative officially begins as we are introduced to a world-famous crime novelist, a man named Harlan Thrombey. Harlan is a man of immense wealth, possessing a truly luxurious mansion and presiding over a very large and sprawling family. Today also happens to be a momentous occasion. It is his 85th birthday. For this specific reason, he has gathered his entire family together under one roof, so that he can celebrate this significant milestone in a truly grand and memorable fashion. So, the family gathers and everyone joins in on the party. However, the celebration gives way to tragedy the very next morning. When Harlan's trusted housekeeper goes to his room, she makes a horrifying discovery. Harlan's lifeless body is lying before her. Unsurprisingly, news of this gruesome scene travels with incredible speed, and in what feels like the blink of an eye, an entire week has passed since the incident. It is at this point that we are properly introduced to Harlan's personal caregiver, a young woman named Martha. Ever since Harlan's sudden passing, Martha has been consumed with worry, given how remarkably close she was to the old man. Soon after, Harlan's son, Walt, places a phone call to Martha. He informs her that she absolutely must come back to the house because the police are scheduled to arrive the next day to question the whole family, along with every single person who works in the palace-like home. Martha agrees to come. The following day, just as Walt had said, two detectives arrive on the scene. Their names are Elliot and Wagner. They commence their investigation by first interrogating Harlan's eldest daughter, a woman named Linda. Linda sits down with them, appearing very calm and collected, and she patiently answers all of their questions. We also see that there is a private detective present here, a gentleman by the name of Benoit Blanc. Blanc also takes the opportunity to ask his own questions one by one. After the detectives are finished with Linda, it is her husband's turn to be interviewed. His name is Richard. They then start their questioning of Richard as well, and a great number of questions are asked of him. Next, a woman named Joni is called in for questioning. Joni is the wife of Harlan's deceased son. In other words, she is his widow. The detectives then proceed to question her at length. After Joni, her daughter, Meg, is called. Meg is very young, but still they ask her many questions. And then they call in Walt and they ask Walt about everything that happened. All of these key people are called in to be questioned on two separate occasions. The first time, it is Detective Elliot who asks them questions. But for the second round of interviews, Benoit Blanc is the one who comes to them, and he methodically gets answers from everyone. Elliot is convinced that Harlan took his own life. Blanc, however, does not believe that for a single second. When he talks to all the people, he tells everyone that Harlan's death happened on the night of the birthday party, and he suspects that a member of his own family killed him or at the very least knows everything about the death. Blanc then begins to dig into the relationships between everyone in the family. He soon finds out that Harlan's relations with most of the members of his family were, in fact, very bad. Blanc then starts a detailed conversation with Martha. During their talk, she reveals some crucial information about Richard. She explains that on the very day that Harlan died, Richard had a major confrontation with him at his office. This was because Harlan had found out that Richard was having an affair and possessed a video as proof. Harlan was absolutely furious because Richard was cheating on his daughter. This fight went on for a long time. As Martha tells Blanc all of this, she suddenly starts to vomit. This is because whenever she tries to tell a lie, she has a physical reaction and gets sick. With this new information, Richard's name goes to the top of Blanc's list. He is the first major suspect. However, the name of Joni soon comes up as the second suspect on the list. The reason is that Joni had been stealing a lot of money from Harlan, and Harlan had recently found out about it. Consequently, Harlan cut Joni off completely so that she could never steal his money again. Because of this, Joni was incredibly angry. Seeing this clear motive, Blanc has named Joni as his number 2 suspect. Then, the third name to emerge is Walt. This is because he also had a serious fight with his father. Harlan was so angry, in fact, that he removed Walt's name from the family publishing company. In light of this, Blanc has named him as suspect number 3. But his fourth suspect is Ransom, who is Linda's son. And on the night Harlan died, Ransom also had a bitter fight with Harlan. Blanc suspects him because Ransom's actions and general demeanor are also very strange. Blanc talks again with Elliot, and he listens to all the recordings of the people who have spoken to him. He goes over all of their statements again, carefully connecting the strings of the story, trying to figure out who is saying something wrong and who is telling the truth, and what their ultimate plans might be. He then starts to recall the specific events of that fateful night when Harlan died. As soon as the party ended, Martha took Harlan up to his room. At this time, Joni was meditating and heard a voice, as if something had fallen to the ground below. She went to Harlan's room to check if he was okay. Harlan opened the door and told her that everything was fine, that just his game board had fallen down. After hearing this, Joni went back to her room. We then see Linda and Richard. Richard was already sleepy, but Linda was not able to sleep. In the middle of the night, they saw Martha. At the same time, Walt was smoking outside with his son, Jacob, and he saw what he thought was Harlan coming down the stairs. He told him not to come down at midnight, and the figure went back up to the room. Now, after hearing all of these things, Blanc gets deep into thinking and considers all his suspects. He asks about Ransom, and Elliot tells him that Ransom had already left the party after his fight with Harlan. He was not at home in the middle of the night. Blanc feels that there is definitely some mistake in the story, because according to this version, no one seems to be a killer. He decides that only one girl can lead them to the truth, and that is Martha. The investigators start talking to Martha again, and this time Martha reveals many more details. She explains that when she went to Harlan's room that night, she was giving him his medicines, but in the meantime the medicine bottles fell. After she gave Harlan an injection, she realized with horror that she had maybe given him an overdose. She told Harlan they had to go to the hospital, but Harlan said that he would not survive. He knew that if they went, Martha would get stuck in a legal nightmare for a long time. But Martha said that they couldn't just do nothing. She didn't care about the consequences for herself. If he wouldn't go to the hospital, she would call someone from downstairs. Harlan didn't let her do that either. Seeing all of this unfold, Martha started to panic a lot and tried to get out of the room. As she did, her foot hit Harlan's, and she fell to the ground with a loud bang. This was the noise that Joni heard. After Harlan lied to Joni about the game board, Martha started panicking again. Harlan saw this and started explaining things to her. He said, "I know that your mother is an immigrant, and she doesn't even have all her documents. If anything happens here, your whole family could be destroyed, and I don't want that at all. So do as I say." He instructed her to get out of there in front of everyone, then come back by car in the middle of the night and park it where it couldn't be seen by CCTV. Then she was to come up from the back door. Martha did exactly as he said. She came up the stairs of the trellis, but a ladder rung broke in the middle of it. She reached Harlan's room, wore his clothes, and started coming down the stairs. That's when Walt saw her and asked her to go back. Looking at this scene, we finally understand that Walt didn't see Harlan. He saw Martha. After this, Martha changed her clothes and started coming down the stairs again. But as soon as she went down, she saw the oldest woman in the house, who had now seen her. She was very scared, but after a while, the old woman opened her mouth and took the name of Ransom, because that's who she thought she saw. Martha then came to her senses and went back. Martha has told this story to Blanc and Elliot, but she has hidden the most important parts about the medicines, so that she is not in the clutches of suspicion. After hearing these things, Blanc tells Martha to support him in his investigation. "I have to collect a lot of evidence," he says. "The evidence is almost missing. The camera footage here is missing, and along with that, a lot of other things. I have to find all those things, and I need your help because you are well aware of this place." Martha agrees because she secretly wants to destroy all the evidence in which her name is going to come up. If she stays with Blanc, then she will be able to do this. Meanwhile, Harlan's lawyer comes to the house because Harlan's will is about to be read. Just then, Jacob reveals that he was sitting in the bathroom when he heard Harlan and Ransom talking. As soon as Harlan mentioned his will, Ransom started shouting at him and threatened him. After hearing this, all the people in the house are surprised and ask Ransom about it, but he starts misbehaving. Outside, Harlan's dog brings Blanc a broken piece of the ladder, which Martha had thrown away. Blanc is shocked to see this piece and runs inside the house with it. Then, the lawyer reads the entire will, and after hearing it, everyone is in a bad condition because Harlan has given all his property in the name of Martha. As soon as they hear Martha's name, all these people get angry because Martha was just a servant for them. Until now, all these people were getting along well with Martha, but as soon as they find out about the will, they all attack her. They call her a witch and curse her, saying she fooled their father. Martha starts to go out, but one by one, everyone goes to her and starts forcing her to return all the property. Then, Ransom comes with his car, sits Martha inside, and takes her away from there. They go and sit in a diner. Ransom knows that when Martha lies, she vomits. He starts fooling Martha and slowly starts to think that Martha knows about Harlan's death. He scares her with these things and makes a deal. If Martha wants to be free, she will have to give all the property to Ransom, because now Ransom knows almost everything that happened between Martha and Harlan. Then Martha goes home, but now the whole Thromby family is behind her, planning how they will take back all the property from her. They call Martha one by one and trouble her. This news comes on TV, and now the whole world finds out that Martha has gotten all the property. All the new channel people have come outside of Martha's house, and Martha is afraid to see this, fearing some people may mention her mother. She is going through the back door to save herself from the media when Walt comes to her and starts threatening her. He says that if she doesn't return the property, he will tell the police that his mother is an immigrant, and then his mother will have to go to jail. These things really scare Martha. Then, Martha checks her mailbox and gets Harlan's toxicology report inside. She takes it and goes to Ransom because Ransom knows more about it. She says, "I don't understand who sent this report and why, and who wants to scare me. I think someone else knows what happened in the room that night." Then Ransom says not to be afraid, that they will go to the laboratory where this report was made. But as soon as they both arrive, they find out that someone has set fire to the entire lab. Then a message comes on Martha's phone which has an address. Before they can say anything, Blanc sees them, and they both start running, with Blanc following them. After a long chase, the police catch the car and finally arrest Ransom. Blanc tells Martha, "I spoke to Ransom's grandmother, and she told me that she saw Ransom at night, coming down the stairs. This information is enough for us to arrest him. He is going to drop Martha home," but Martha stops on the way and goes to the location where the blackmailer has called her. As soon as she goes inside, she sees another servant of the house, Fran, whose hands are tied. The woman tells her that she had the toxicology report, but now someone has given her poison, and that's why she is dying. Martha tries to save her, but she dies in the end. Now Martha is very upset with her death. That's why she went to Blanc and tells him her whole story and says she will also tell the family. She doesn't want to hide this anymore. She goes home determined to tell everyone the truth. But before telling everyone, she gives the full toxicology report to Blanc. Blanc starts reading the report as Martha goes to confess in front of the whole family. But before Martha says something, Blanc comes and stops her, saying, "I have found out something else." He starts telling his story. He explains that the amount of morphine in the report means someone must have put it there from outside. And he is no one else but Ransom. When he had a fight with Harlan, he showed it to the whole family and went out of the house. But after going out, he stopped his car and came back to Harlan's room from the back door. He mixed the medicines that Martha was going to give to Harlan so that Harlan would die and the full responsibility would come to Martha. He then tells Martha that she gave the right dose. "You didn't change the medicines," he explains. "The medicines were changed by Ransom." As soon as he says so, he removes the label which Ransom had changed. That's why Martha is innocent. She is not at fault. Then Blanc tells them that until now, no one knew who hired him. "But Ransom hired me," he reveals. "And he did it on purpose because he saw in the newspaper that everyone believed Harlan committed suicide. He hired me so that I could catch you, and he has been working on his planning since then." When everyone was at Harlan's funeral, Ransom went back to Harlan's room to switch the medicines back. But in the meantime, the servant, Fran, saw him. She understood that Ransom was responsible for the death. Then she sent that report to blackmail Ransom. But by then, Ransom had found out that Martha considered herself responsible for Harlan's death. So he sent her that report. In the meantime, he went to Fran and gave her a larger dose of morphine and tied her to the chair so that by the time Martha reached her, she would be dead. And before that, he had set fire to the entire lab. He didn't even know that Martha also had a copy of the report. He wanted her to be trapped in the death from every possible angle. Blanc goes and tells Ransom all this, but Ransom just laughs. He knows that everyone knows the truth, but still he says that no one will be able to prove anything. Then, a call comes from the hospital on Martha's phone, and she finds out that the servant who is dying there has survived. Martha is happy to hear this because if she survives, she can testify against Ransom. As soon as Ransom finds out about this, he becomes furious and starts confessing his sins in front of everyone, explaining why he did all this and cursing every member of the family. He wanted revenge on everyone. After saying this, he goes to Martha and tells her that no one can save her. "You are still going to jail. Everyone suspects you. All the evidence is against you." As soon as Martha hears all this, she vomits on Ransom's face. Ransom then finds out that Martha was lying. That means that the servant is dead. Martha lied to everyone when she said the hospital told her Fran was still alive. And in this happiness, Ransom confessed his sins, which the police have recorded on their phones. All the evidence is now against Ransom. As soon as he sees this, Ransom becomes furious again. He picks up a knife and attacks Martha. Then he finds out that this is a fake knife. The police now have another case, attempt of murder, which they can put on Ransom. They take Ransom and leave. After seeing this, all the family members are surprised. Martha talks to Blanc and asks him, "When did you find out that I knew about the murder?" Blanc says that it was from the first day. "When I saw your shoes, there were blood stains on it. That's when I understood that you knew something. But I also knew that you didn't commit the murder." Then Blanc also starts to leave. Linda goes to Harlan's room and gets her father's letter there, in which he has told her that Richard is cheating on her. Then Linda also comes out. The police take Ransom and leave. That's when all the family members see Martha in the balcony. And the way Martha is standing, they all know that Martha is now the owner of this house. And all these people have become homeless. And this film ends here.